Your inbox is never empty. Here's why. Your inbox is never empty. No matter how many emails you answer, archive, or delete, there's always something new waiting. It doesn't matter how disciplined you are. It doesn't matter how organized your folders are. At the end of the day, your inbox still feels unfinished. And that creates a very specific kind of pressure. You've been busy all day. You've replied to messages. You've handled things. Yet nothing feels complete. Not because something urgent is happening, but because nothing ever truly ends. That low-level sense of unfinished business quietly follows you through the day. You might even close your laptop, but part of your attention is still open. And that's exhausting. And it's not your fault. Email feels endless because it is endless. There is no natural stopping point built into it. No moment where the system tells you, "This is enough for today." Every email you receive creates a decision. Do I answer this now? Later? Do I need to think about it first? Every email you send creates more email. Replies. Follow-ups. Clarifications. Sometimes even misunderstandings that create even more work. So the more responsive you are, the more work you quietly create for yourself. That's why email feels productive in the moment, but exhausting over time. You're constantly switching context. One message pulls you into one topic. The next message pulls you into something completely different. And before you realize it, your attention is fragmented. These aren't big tasks. They're small ones, but they stack up. And your brain treats every small decision as something that costs energy. By the end of the day, you're not tired because you worked hard. You're tired because you decided all day. Here's the part most people don't realize. Your inbox isn't full because you lack discipline. It's full because email was never designed for the way we work today. Email was built for a slower world. A world with fewer messages, clearer roles, more time between responses. It assumes people will carefully read everything. It assumes they will remember context across long conversations. It assumes they will manually decide what matters and what doesn't. That system breaks down under modern workloads. So what ends up happening is this. You're trying to manage an infinite stream of communication with a very limited amount of time, focus, and mental energy. And over time, that creates something subtle. Not panic, not crisis, but constant mental noise. The feeling that you should be doing something, even when you don't know what that something is. That mismatch is what creates stress. Not laziness. Not poor time management. Not a lack of motivation. The system itself is broken. And once you really understand that, something important shifts. Because if the problem is the system, then the solution isn't trying harder or checking your inbox more often. This is where AI actually changes things. Not in a flashy way, but in a very quiet, practical one. Most people think AI is about writing emails for you. That's not the real value. The real value is that AI reduces the mental load. Think about what actually drains you about email. It's not typing words. It's reading long messages to find the point. It's figuring out what someone really wants. It's deciding what's urgent and what isn't. It's keeping half-finished conversations in your head. That constant decision-making is what exhausts you. AI can take over a large part of that invisible work. It can summarize long threads into clear takeaways. It can highlight which messages actually need action, and which ones don't. It can draft responses based on context and intent, So instead of processing everything manually, your role changes. You move from doing all the thinking to supervising decisions. And that shift matters more than it sounds. Because once the decision layer is reduced, email stops feeling endless. It becomes something you check deliberately, instead of something that constantly interrupts you. You're no longer reacting all day. You're choosing when and where to engage. And that restores something important: a sense of control. So if your inbox never feels empty, you're not behind. You're just using a tool that hasn't evolved at the same pace as the way we work. In the next video, I'll explain why most emails don't need to be written by you at all, and how deciding which ones actually matter changes everything. Because once you understand that, email stops running your day. If this feels familiar, subscribe. This channel is about removing work that shouldn't exist anymore.